turn on some tunage. I'll be right back. Alright, good morning. How are we doing this morning? Got a couple of things to talk about before we get started on the save. How are we doing this morning? I was up late watching Breeze's stream. As much as Breeze watches our stream, I figured it'd only be fair if I watched his, right? I mean, it's only fair. How'd your stream end up going last night, Breeze? we've got a match in 8 days. I know I tuned in for quite a bit of it, but sports hernia for Hamza Mendel. Konstantin Haida, 7 weeks and 3 months, or 3 months. That's just not ideal at all. We'll wait for a little bit. Hey, Famone, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Glad you could join us. Hey. I appreciate it, Famone. You're a legend. Sit narrower, hold up ball. I appreciate you, man. You know what I think we're gonna do? There we go. Only until I'm famous? I'm doing well, man. Doing well. I appreciate the support. Okay. I'll get started with a couple of the announcements. So, first things first, I did post our schedule for the week. That's something I'm going to try to start doing on a more regular basis. So that you guys can keep up with what we're doing. Here we go. And we'll pin that. There we go. That way we can keep track of it. We might have to. It's not a bad idea, honestly. Like, low-key, it's not. So, on Friday, I am going to be streaming the see exclusive access to the training file. On Friday, I'm going to be streaming the new file before it gets released. So we'll see that, which I'm excited for. Really excited for that. For sure. Then on Saturday morning my time, we are going to do a watch along for a Premier League match. I haven't decided which one yet. It'll be audio only, but we'll do a watch along, kind of hang out with everybody, just chill, watch the match, and get my reactions to what's going on. Just something else, add a little variety, spice things up a little bit. I do need to... Yeah, it is. But we still want to, show people a little bit. I don't believe they've done anything like that as far as the tweaking. But, Count just wants me to showcase it, and so that people can see it and try to build some hype around it for moving forward. And then, like I said, we're going to be watching a Premier League match on Saturday. Let's see. Which one are we going to do? What time did I announce it as? 9 a.m. That's what I thought. Okay. So, Saturday. We have a couple of options. Deserved. I think he was the rightful winner. No, it's just to do something different on Saturdays, hang out. I think Ousmane Dembele deserved it. I don't think Lamine Yamal is there yet as far as the Ballon d'Or. PSG won the Champions League for the first time in their history, and Ousmane Dembele was the catalyst behind that. So, well deserved, and he elevated his play to a whole new level. The Ousmane Dembele that PSG got is the Ousmane Dembele that Barcelona thought they were getting from Dortmund. If we're being honest, that's... So, it is what it is, but... Yeah, the problem with Vitinha is that, for a midfielder to get it, they really have to score a lot of goals. Vitinha would have to be... He'd have to have a year like Luka Modric had. And Luka Modric got it because also of what he accomplished with his national team. Croatia is not an international powerhouse like Portugal is, so I think Vitinha was always going to have a hard time getting it. Lamine Yamal, I don't know about overrated. He's pretty darn good. I think he's young, and the concern for someone his age that is getting success now is, can he maintain it? Can he maintain his level and continue to improve? Or is he going to get satisfied with being what he is? Yeah, I've been hearing a little bit of rumblings about FM26. We need to we need to be prepared for it to be a little bit of a work in progress, but hopefully SI gets everything figured out and gets all the bugs worked out. That's the best way I can kind of put that. Lamine Yamal needs to improve. He will win a Ballon d'Or, assuming he keeps on this trajectory. He will win more than one Ballon d'Or. But I really hope that he doesn't get content with his talent. Oh yeah, no, he is the top wonder kid in all of FM. I mean, his PA is usually in the 190s. He has been given as high of a PA as Lionel Messi. I think there's only a little bit. Wally can't go into too many details because of non-disclosures agreements, but he and I have talked, and I think we just need to be prepared for SI playing a little bit of catch-up. I think that would be the best way to put it. I think FM26 has a lot of potential. I think okay. I agree, Famone. He'll get it. Wally, is it fair to say that FM26 has a lot of potential, but yeah, Ansu Fati was on this trajectory too, and I mean, injuries played a large part for Ansu Fati, and then when he came back, they had signed him to such a big deal, and they were so financially insecure that they had to loan him out, and I think he just lost his place in the team. For someone so young to have so much success, it is hard to stay motivated to continue to improve and to continue to grind like you have been. That's what separates the truly great players from the really good players. You know, Lionel Messi, at the beginning of his career, was not a good free kick taker. So what does he do? He gets better at it. Like, the constant pursuit of getting better at something is what drives players to become the greatest of all time or in that conversation. I don't think Wally is here anymore. He might still be watching, but based on my conversations that I've had with some people that are in the know, I think FM26 has a lot of potential. I also think that it is not a finished product yet. And that is concerning, but at the same time, SI still has time to fix it. It's a question of whether or not they can get it fixed. Right now, my recommendation, based on what I'm hearing and based on my experiences with FM, I would say wait to buy it until you see what it's going to be like. I wouldn't recommend spending the money unless you really, really want to. Yeah, there's that too. But I mean, it's just a question of the bugs and everything. Like, you might want to wait, you know? Okay, so on Saturday, we've got 4 matches that we could watch. We could watch Chelsea versus Brighton, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, Leeds Bournemouth, and Manchester City versus Burnley. I think the best matches of those 4 are going to be Chelsea, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Manchester City has not been playing well, so it could be fun to see if their bad start continues against Burnley. But, I mean, there is a very sizable gap in quality between Manchester City and Burnley. If it was a later game, I'd say we could watch United versus Brentford, because it's always fun to watch United and see what happens. But we'll see. You know, for as many people that are complaining about Manchester United's start, I mean, they haven't exactly had the easiest schedule to open up their season. You open up with Arsenal, kind of, but at the same time, I think they need to realize, you open up against Arsenal. They played well. They should have won. They should have at least drew. Goalkeeping mistake cost them that match. Fulham, they should have beaten Fulham. That's inexcusable. The Carabao Cup, also inexcusable, but that doesn't count in the league. They beat Burnley. They lost to Manchester City. And they beat Chelsea. So realistically, they have faced 3 teams that are going to be vying for European places. And out of those 3, they did win 1. So, I mean, it's not the worst start. They have 7 points from 5 matches, but their 5 matches haven't exactly been easy. So, I mean, now that being said, they need to take care of business against Brentford. Like, they really need to take care of business against Brentford. Because after Brentford, it's Sunderland. So if they can win the Brentford and Sunderland matches, they then go in against Liverpool. It'll be tough, but I think they're doing better than people really appreciate. Let's see what's going on in the Discord. Yeah. Sunderland for the UCL now. I mean, crazier things have happened. I think it's just nuts that people are calling for Ruben Amorim's job. That's insane. I don't think that's the case. I just don't. Let's see. Unai Emery could be under some pressure here to get the sack. No. No. They were a hot mess under Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, they say that, but Ruben Amorim is having to pick up the pieces after a Ten Hag made a mess. They need to give Ruben Amorim some time to pick up the pieces from what Ten Hag left. Because Ten Hag left that team in a terrible spot. I mean, the squad still needs to be trimmed and still needs to be improved, and it takes more than a couple of transfer windows for that to happen. But if you're looking at a head coach that could be sacked, I mean, Unai Emery is... Aston Villa's director of football, Monchi, is leaving the club. Which isn't a good sign because it means that Aston Villa is looking to mix things up. And as they should, they are in the relegation zone right now. They need... That's a club that would be wants to be challenging for European places, and they are in 18th place in the Premier League. That's not going to cut it. I know he just got hired, but Eric Ten Hag, or not Eric Ten Hag, Ange Postecoglou, depending on how the season goes, I'm curious to see if Marinakis is going to be patient enough. I mean, his first match in charge was very reminiscent of Tottenham. They take a 2-goal lead, they continue to attack, they continue to go forward, and what ends up happening is they lose because they don't play for the lead. Once they have the lead, you don't have to park the bus, but you need to be more cautious and be more defensively sound, and they just weren't. Here's another example. Newcastle was in the Champions League, if not last year, the year before that. Eddie Howe had Newcastle in the Champions League. They're in 13th place right now. Nobody is calling for Eddie Howe's job, as far as I know. So why is Manchester United calling for Ruben Amorim's job? There are very few people that would argue that the United squad is that much better than Newcastle's squad. Hey, greetings, Circwood. Like, I mean, Newcastle lost Isak. Exactly. Like, Manchester United is 2 spots below City, and that's only because of goal difference. So, like, what? Why are we calling for Amorim's job? Are we calling for Pep's job? No. Amorim hasn't even been there a year. They're 5 matches in, and they've had a tough start. Okay. They are out of the Carabao Cup. That could be a good thing. Let them focus on the league. Let them focus on... Yeah, Manchester United forgets how Alex Ferguson started his career. It was not great. It took him several years before they started winning. It's not the board. It's the fans. And it's their former players. Gary Neville, Roy Keane. All saying like, oh, they should just be challenging for... That's not the way the world works anymore. When Alex Ferguson was part of the club, there was no FFP. They could basically buy whatever players they wanted. They could do whatever they wanted. Now there's FFP. They're restricted. It's more difficult. Like, just realize that it's tougher now and, like, support the team and acknowledge that this is going to be a long-term rebuild, and that's okay. If we're talking about it in year 2 or 3, that Amram is still mid-table, okay, there's a problem. But, like, how many managers is Manchester United going to replace before they realize that it's not the manager? You've gone through Jose Mourinho, who, by all accounts, is a world-class manager. You've gone through Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who may not be a world-class manager, but, like, still good. When they hired Erik ten Hag, he was a highly recommended manager. Like, everybody was like, oh, that's a great hire. Up-and-coming manager out of Netherlands, really good system, he'll fit right in. And he didn't. Ruben Amorim, same thing. Everybody was like, yeah, that's a great hire. Ruben Amorim was highly sought after. He wanted to join this summer. Manchester United said, no, we need you to join right now. And he had to make the decision whether he wanted to tell them no or if he wanted to take the job. And Manchester United only comes calling so often, so he took the job in the middle of the year, despite the fact that he knew it was not what was best for him. Also, I watched the Manchester City versus Chelsea game, and I noticed something towards the end of that match. Granted, they were down to 10 men. Both sides were down to 10 men. Bruno Fernandes was at the top of their formation, and he was just running around. He was trying to press every single person with the ball. He wasn't pressing as a team. He would run to whoever had the ball. And